Hi everybody, welcome to Room with a Review, Mindwiseman's channel, aka Maverick Outdoors. And as I said on a previous video, I just want to review and explain my approach to why I bought this separately, having in mind wanting it to actually be able to adapt and be variable with all my outdoor cooking equipment. So firstly, I can use it on the hexamin stove. I can then also use it on the base stove part of my hobo stove that I made out of the two stainless steel food containers. The wedges on the back there, and it's also supported by one of the cut tent pegs which I use to support any cooking vessel. Also it can go straight on top of the Coleman's one-man stove, and I'd place it to the centre. Obviously it just leans over a little bit, but I'd have to take the flame down because some of it could escape at the back. I can, if I want to, bring these over a little bit, the support, and then rest it at the side, and also the same thing the other side where that gap is, or else I can apply the same principle I did with my hobo stove, wedging the handles on the back there, and it just hangs it. And if I can just replicate the weight of food or fluid that would be in there, this is virtually full. This is a Trania alcohol stove, and that replicates the weight of what would be near enough sort of some food or drink, and again it's not going anywhere, it supports it. So basically I wanted the versatility of this mug to be adaptable to all my outdoor cooking kit. Plus it can go on a fire. I will eventually try and rig up and make something which I can clip onto and have that maybe hanging over an open fire if I wanted to, but it's not priority at the moment, but something to think of in the future. Plus as well, albeit this cooking kit doesn't come with this, that will fit in. That's done up tight, doesn't leak. I've tested it, field tested it, everything is airtight because there's a rubber O-ring that seals on the top to stop any of this from leaking. That will go in there. Put that on, close it up, fit it in there. But of course the alcohol fuel bottle would have to go elsewhere. So unless I were to take that out, put the bottle in, have that over the top, and then I'd carry that elsewhere. So I've got a choice. But if I was out for the day, then I'd just fill this right up, and this would most probably do me anyway. Considering I can also use this, put some fire, build a little mini fire in there to cook. But what I would do, I'd make a small little twig fire or cones, place that on top, and then cook the other way round. And then every now and then when I needed to, I could just feed more twigs in there, take it up, feed it in through the top, and that could cook that way. You'll notice just one extra thing on this small pot frying pan. It's two loops. The handle can get warm near to the heating element. So what you can do is you can get a small piece of stick, or if you've got a reasonable long knife, or anything that can fit through here like my finger is, to extend the handle, so I actually could be holding it at a distance, literally from here, so I'd be well protected not to get burnt on the handle. So that's what these two loops are for. Okay, all of this, reviewing all of this as one unit. This came as one piece. It's a little zipper, waterproof, quite sturdy sort of Cordura type bag, and in it, stainless steel kettle, holds just under a litre. I think it's about 0.9 of a litre. Now, as I say, this came as one unit, and I bought these one-man stainless steel sort of cook set separately, and with it came another saucepan inside. It's a bit like a Russian doll. There's taking out one doll and there's a smaller one and a smaller one. But this is the sort of process and principle I wanted behind my cook set, so that one thing could fit inside another. So this came with a plastic cup as well, but I very seldom use this one. So I'm left now with the frying pan. You'd have seen us through this saucepan before in some of the previous videos where I've sort of cooked on it and reviewed some of the cooking when I've been outdoors, camping and on the rivers and what have you. So that will be utilised for the one-man Coleman stove, so would the frying pan. Now although the frying pan doesn't have a recess for the lid to fit in, like it does in the saucepan, I still cooked with it like that. so it still has a practical use to use the lid for the frying pan and the saucepan. Now, as I said, when I got this, I was hoping, I was 90% sure that I would be able to somehow link these two together, and this is what I was able to do. Fold those back, put these in the kettle bag, just let them slide in there, take the lid off, take the handle of the kettle off, it just springs out the two little protrusions that go in these two holes, place it in the saucepan, lid in the saucepan, kettle upside down in the saucepan, lid on top, and it's just a nice snug fit, zips round, just give that a bit of a squeeze, and there's no strain on the zip at all. So that's one unit that goes with a one-man Coleman stove. I made up this bag out of sort of leatherette material, which is synthetic, used the base of the cooker as the template, cut it out, knew the amount of material I wanted to wrap around it, sewed the base on, sewing machine, sewed up the side, then made a hem which I wanted the pull string cord to go through. So that's where you can see all the stitching. The cooker then fits in, so it's protected. Plus, well, if I want to, I can hang it on webbing or on the outside of a bag, or when it's outside and it's unpacked, I can leave it in that bag if I want to. Pull string cord, but this is a filling funnel that actually you put into the filling receptacle opening of the actual canister. So I've got enough space here to put this in as well. Any other little bits and pieces I might want to fire steel, but I normally like to leave my fire steel separate and then just pull that together. Okay, in this pouch I've got my one-man Coleman stove and also my cooking kit with the saucepans and the kettle. I actually got this bag, it's brand new, it was army surplus. I think it's French or Swedish, I think, and I think it might have been a respirator bag or pouch, because it's got all the features outside and inside of what a respirator pouch would have, because I think it's quite a standard sort of shape. So anyway, this is sort of like a really strong waterproof vinyl. Open the Velcro lid. As showed you before, frying pan, saucepan, kettle, all in that container. Then in the bottom half of this pouch is the Coleman stove, which is in the bag. But inside the pouch there's a smaller pouch on the back panel, which enables me to hold the wind guard. So imagine the cooker's there, ready to cook, wind guard around it, protects it, which obviously restricts the amount of fuel burning excessively. Obviously if there's a breeze coming through, there's more oxygen there to feed the flame, which means you can use twice as much fuel in half the time if you're not careful, unnecessarily. So that will just help you. Little telescopic spike to dig into the ground, or it will hold itself there anyway if you can't, the ground's a bit firm. But I haven't had any problems yet digging this in, and it really does the job. Pouch. I keep in the side antibacterial spray for your hands, a little scourer. Originally it did have a sponge on it, but I took the sponge off because I didn't want it on there, so it's really small and compact. It's just a little synthetic scourer. Little bit of animal snare if necessary for last resort survival. There's space in there, there's nothing else I'm thinking of putting in there yet to add to this stuff, so that might as well go in there. Detergent to wash the pots and pans, and also just a little bit of paracord. So just putting that back in the side pouch. I don't always use this other side is my vinyl plastic foldable bowl. which holds about 4 litres. I don't always use this unless I've got a lot of washing up to do, or I use this to wash my person, myself. So what I will tend to do sometimes is if I'm making up a brew in the kettle, I'll fill up the kettle and I'll only use half of that for the drink. Then I'll have the rest of the boiled, really warm water left over to rinse through my pots and pans, scour it a little bit, rinse it out again, without necessarily having to use this bowl. So it's just something to consider, albeit I'll use the pouch, really lightweight, there's nothing to it, so it might as well go in the side so that I know it's all there. Velcro's down. As I say, this is really strong, bomb-proof, this stuff. I mean, it's a plastic rubberized material. It's got another small pouch which I could use, I don't, but it's there to be utilised if I wanted to, on the inside of the lid. If water did get inside it for any reason, by accident, there's drain holes, one on the side of the pouch, each side, and one on the base. But this is really rough and ready, this. I got this specifically because I needed something that's heavy duty, because when I'm in the canoe and I'm portaging, going along the riverbanks and that sort of thing, I'm picking stuff up, putting it down, so this has been on the ground many times. Okay folks, this time round in the pouch, I've got my army stove. On the top, 44 pattern stainless steel mug, and inside Swedish Army. So I've got 2 of these, which I put either side of my rucksack, my heavy duty rucksack that I use for canoeing and when I'm out for a few days. I also use this for a day in the woods when I've taken a flask. And it's got some sort of webbing loops around the back. So if I'm out for the day, I'll normally have a heavy duty bum bag, fanny bag, and I can actually thread the belt through these 2 loops where my 2 fingers are, and it mounts on my hip, while the rest of the bum bag pouch is on the other side. So again, this is really versatile, as I say, really strong, and I'm really glad I've got 2 of them, because I can actually link them together as well to make a double pouch unit in one unit. Also it comes with this webbing, where it also has a strap which has these 2 clip hooks which can go over the shoulder, so I can actually use this as a shoulder bag as well, or over my back. So as I say, it does come with 2 matching straps. So at that point, I'll say thanks for watching, and the next review is the Coleman one-man stove, which I'm going to strike up and show you how I fuel it up. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.